I'm Allie,
And I'm Sydney.
and welcome to our channel.
Greek Myths Undone.
Today's video subject is Zeus's offspring, both divine and mortal.
Hope you enjoy. So now that we're done talking about the children Zeus had with his divine lovers, we move on to the mortal lovers. So, we have Semele, Leda, Europa, Danae, Alcmene, and Tyndareus.
We're going to start off with Zeus and Leda and their daughter Helen. Helen is most famous for the Trojan War. She was the wife of Menelaus, and basically, if you know the story, Paris took her back to Troy, whether she went willingly or not. Depends on who you talk to. And the story goes that Menelaus was really upset, so he went with his brother Agamemnon and Agamemnon's armies to get Helen back. Polydeuces is the second child of Leda and Zeus, and he is the second half of the Dioscuri, more commonly known as the Gemini, as their Latin name calls them. Castor, his twin brother, was the mortal son of Tyndareus and Leda. When Castor died, Polydeuces asked his father Zeus if he could share his immortality with his twin, Castor, and that is how they became the constellation Gemini.
Zeus and Semele had a son by the name of Dionysus. Dionysus invented wine, and he was actually born from Zeus's thigh. And a lot of you may know him as a god, but he actually had to work to become a god. So while he's presented as male a lot, he definitely questioned his gender, or at least the stereotypical gender roles of the society that he was in. Zeus and Danae had a son named Perseus. The act that Perseus is most famous for is killing Medusa. So Perseus was given the task of going up to the cave that Medusa lived in and killing her. And for those who don't know, Medusa was a gorgon who had the ability to turn men to stone if they should look upon her eyes. So Perseus was given some assistance from Athena, and he was sent to kill Medusa, and he did so by staring at her reflection in his shield and slicing her head off. And from her severed head, Pegasus, the flying horse, was born, and Chrysaor, who is said to have been a king of Iberia. With Alcmene, Zeus had the child Heracles. Now, Heracles, or later known by his Roman name Hercules, is a rather famous figure. Most people know that he was originally married to a princess named Megara, and Hera sent down a fit of rage to take over Heracles, so that while he believed he was killing enemy soldiers, he was actually killing his wife and children. Because of this, he was given the task of 12 impossible labors.
These labors were the Nemean lion, the Lernaean hydra, the Cranian hind, the Eramanthian boar, the Augean stables, the Stymphalian birds, the Cretan bull, the mares of Diomedes, the belt of Hippolyta, the cattle of Geryon, the golden apples of the Hesperides, and Cerberus.
Now, later, Heracles was able to find another wife by the name of Deianira, and she would eventually cause his death by accidentally giving him under a false pretense centaur's blood. Centaur's blood is poisonous to humans, but she was tricked into believing that it was actually a love potion that would get Heracles to fall in love with her all over again. Eventually, Heracles became a god and was married to Eileithyia.
With Europa, Zeus had 3 children. 2 of them, Sarpedon and Rhadamanthus, were both banished by their brother Minos. Sarpedon for loving Minos' love interest, and Rhadamanthus because he was a threat to Minos' throne.
And Minos is actually another fairly famous figure in Greek mythology. He is the king who built the labyrinth and had the Athenians send over children to go into the labyrinth and fight the Minotaur. Once the Minotaur was defeated, he went in search of Daedalus, the architect who built the labyrinth, because he was kind of really annoyed with the dude and kind of wanted to kill him. Daedalus had actually gone and hidden in the court of King Cocalus and was hiding under a false pretense. And so Minos went around with a riddle asking someone to thread a string through a spiral seashell without poking a hole through the shell. And he knew that only Daedalus would be able to solve this riddle. And so when he went to the court of King Cocalus and Daedalus solved it by tying a string around an ant and having the ant walk through the shell, Minos wanted to kill him. And King Cocalus and his daughters really liked Daedalus, so King Cocalus had his daughters draw a bath for King Minos, and they actually killed him in the bathtub. Down in the underworld, both King Minos and Rhadamanthus would become judges of the underworld who judge your soul to determine which part of the underworld you will go to spend all of eternity in.